Saturday edition of Wasatch Weekends, one of the newest shows here on Park City Television. I'm your host, Maddie Evans, and we love getting to spend your weekend mornings with you, so you can catch us every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 7 a.m. where we'll take you through the arts, entertainment, news, and sports taking place in our community. Now, if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, you can definitely get out and enjoy some things still. One of the first things we want to mention is the Saturday morning nature walk at the Swanner Eco Center, and this is a great time to just get out there and see all of the beautiful scenery. It's going to take place starting at 8:30. Now, while you're over there, make sure that you check out the Soar with Bats exhibit. This is the last weekend of the exhibit taking place, and it's one of those very cool and educational things that you can do with the entire family. Now, I don't know about you, but I love bats. I think they look like cute little flying puppies, so make sure that you make your way over there and you check it out while it's still there. Now, if art is your thing, then there's a great place to go this weekend where you can enjoy art from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And this is going to be one of those beautiful exhibitions where you'll see some mixed media artwork by some very incredible artists. So you should make your way over to the Julie Nestor Gallery, and that way you can see incredible art from Brenda Malloy and Donna Mintz. You can enjoy this again today from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and it's free admission to get into the doors. Now, if you're looking for something else to do maybe later this evening, well, then you should check out Flanagan's on Main Street, because it's a ton of fun to get over there and check out all of the great karaoke. Now, if you've not participated in the karaoke there, then we highly recommend you do so, because this is a great way to get out and just kind of tap into your musical talents. Now, we've got a great show in store for you for the next little bit here on Wasatch Weekends. Not only are we going to introduce you to a very wonderful coffee company that's more sustainable to the environment, but we're also going to do a nice little artist spotlight on an incredible artist using mixed mediums and doing some very fun pop art. So a lot of things recycled on this show for your Wasatch Weekends. We're going to take a look at that local weather forecast right now, and then we've got more of the show. Coffee? Well, now there's an easier way to have access that's more friendly to the environment, and that's steep coffee. And we've got Ron Scadina joining us. Ron, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Quite an honor.
We love coffee here, as you can imagine. We're up quite early, and this is a great way to get coffee on the go, but also to enjoy it if you're someone who loves the outdoors.
The coffee is fantastic in the outdoors. It's great on the run. All you need to do is add a little bit of hot water or cold water, actually, and you can make coffee within 2 to 3 minutes.
Which is something that makes it nice and convenient for everyone to get their hands on some delicious coffee. And so steep coffee is a new way for people to enjoy it. So for people who have not heard of steep, can you explain what it is to us?
Simply coffee in a tea bag. We've created a proprietary process to actually grind the coffee at a certain micron, put the coffee in a special sachet that allows the water to agitate the coffee, and then we nitrogen seal the coffee in a bag, so we have a 12-month shelf life, and it's fully compostable. So you can take it anywhere you want to go. And we're using the SCA specifications to 14.2 grams of coffee to 8 ounces of water.
Which makes it super convenient, and especially for those people who are outdoor enthusiasts. So whether you're skiing, biking, hiking, backpacking, camping, this is the perfect way to have this in your car ready to go. That way you can have coffee whenever you want it.
Have you had a chance to try it?
I have not had a chance to try it yet, and I'm a coffee fiend. If I told you how many cups of coffee I've had alone today, you would be amazed.
Well, if it's interesting. If you go to our website, you'll see that you pop down on where to get the coffee, and it's at 5,000 points of distribution across the country right now, including Whole Foods nationally and 576 Walmart stores as well.
So it's easy for people to get their hands on steep coffee, and something that's special about what you guys do is you're also blending in these mushrooms that help support immune systems, which this is kind of a phase or like a fad right now that's taking over, having this mushroom support.
So interesting you bring that up. We actually package right now for 450 roasters across America that pay us to package for them using our technology. One of our partners, and our first partner in the functional space, created a product with mushrooms that they infuse into the coffee. We package it for them, so we're their packaging partner. They're using our proprietary method to secure the coffee, keep it fresh, but they've created this proprietary process on the mushroom side of the infusion. They're in Colorado, and the name of that company is Peak State, State, and they're one of our partners. And as you know, that we've been nominated for an award for innovation, not only with our packaging, but with the mushroom coffee as well.
Which is something that's so incredible. And the fact that you guys are so sustainable for our environment really shows that you love that outdoor lifestyle, which also speaks volumes to your product, since this is one that you can always use when you're enjoying the outdoors.
And the nice thing was when you get done using it, you won't leave an imprint right on it'll break down since it's fully compostable. And there's nothing else like it in the world.
So what was the inspiration behind Steep?
Our CEO he used to take a suitcase full of equipment, a scale, a pour over kettle, coffee, and his grinder. And he would spend all this time packing everything to go to his in-laws. And he said he thought there's got to be a simpler way. So he started innovating and creating this about 7 years ago, so that when he travels now, all he needs is a Steep sachet, coffee in a tea bag. And the nice thing is it also makes cold brew overnight within 24 hours. So you just add cold water, it makes cold brew. It's stronger in 48 hours, 72 hours. But that was the innovation. A man named Josh Wilbur created it.
Which, I mean, I've mentioned it now. I love coffee and I love caffeine, and you're not going to miss any of the caffeine with regular coffee by enjoying a bag of Steep, correct?
Correct. So what we did is we looked at French press and we looked at pour over, and we combined these two in creating this sachet. So when you dip and dunk it, it extracts and agitates the coffee so that it yields the caffeine that's in normal French press or a pour over. So we call this method the French press without the mess. And you and I all know that we've made French press and left it on the counter too long, because our partners then had to remind us it should be in the garden. The grind should be in the garden, not on the counter.
Right. My mom is a big coffee drinker as well, and she has an espresso machine at home. And yeah, she goes through the coffee grounds or the espresso bean grounds so frequently that that's something that she definitely uses in her garden. Now, as people are looking into getting it, you guys do carry a lot of different types of coffee. And so which one is your favorite?
I love a coffee that we had roasted by one of our partners in Oakland from Mr. Espresso. And we created a coffee that's French roasted, but it's also roasted over oak wood. So the nice thing is the way it roasts, then it takes longer to roast the coffee, but it brings out these incredible flavors that you don't get unless you use oak wood. So I like the breakwater coffee. That's my favorite. And this coffee also won the award at the Nexties at the Expo 2021 as Best New Coffee and Coffee and Tea category. So the Breakwater is my favorite, but I also like the Eventide when I don't want the caffeine in the afternoon. It's a single origin Ethiopian Swiss water process. So you get also this incredible coffee without any chemicals or decaf.
Which is really nice because everyone loves a good cup of coffee throughout the course of their day. Now, you guys have some exciting news as you're going to the Outdoor Retailer in Salt Lake this year. Do you want to give us some more information on that?
We've been nominated as a finalist out of 130 applicants to actually take home an award. They're going to grant 12 awards. Ours is for innovation, sustainability, and of course, you know, it breaks down all the, if you go to Outdoor Retailer to explain all the innovation side of why they chose Steeped is for not only the packaging, but also this partner that we brought in, Peak State, because we're using mushrooms inside of it. We have 4 products that they reviewed. Of the 4, they like the mushroom innovation the best, but they like the innovation of the packaging first and foremost.
Which I think is so cool because we're moving towards being more sustainable in a lot of the things that we do. And I personally know that as someone who drinks a lot of coffee, this is a great alternative to buying those big, huge plastic canisters throughout the year, I should say, when you can just make that single serving coffee right there and it's totally compostable.
That was the goal. I mean, the planet has been covered over 200 times with pods that are not compostable. So we have all this plastic in our landfill. One of the things Steep does is we're also a B certified company, so we give back 1% of our gross revenue. And recently we partnered with Charity Water, so we're actually helping develop wells in Uganda right now in our partnership with Charity Water, so that we can restore what other products have damaged. So our ethos is truly to be sustainable and give back.
Which just makes it more compelling for people to buy your product. And all of the coffee that we had up on the screen sounded absolutely delicious. Just a couple drops of sugar if you need it to be a little bit sweeter, and it sounds like it's the perfect cup of coffee.
It's fantastic, and I look forward to you trying it and having you comment on it as well. We'll make sure you get some samples.
We would love some samples here at the TV station. Like I said, we drink so much coffee that it's basically embarrassing. And so anytime we can get our hands on some new products, obviously to help the environment, but to change the coffee game with something like the immune boosting mushrooms, all of that is so fascinating and such a great way for people to just find out more about their bodies by taking care of their bodies with a small step like coffee.
You know, we're excited about that innovation that Peaks created. On top of that, we're creating some additional functional products, one of which is a probiotic coffee that we're getting ready to launch. And so let's say every day we take a probiotic, a lot of us do, but now we'll be able to drink it in our coffee. And we have a product that actually goes in and works with hot water. So it's a very specialized product that we got from one of our partners at a trade show. You know, so I think we go to trade shows to meet people, learn, grow, and continue to innovate and ideate to make what we provide better for people and their bodies.
I feel like coffee is such a simple luxury, but it is a luxury product for so many, and this is just such a great way for people to enjoy it, have a smaller carbon footprint while doing so, and then of course, probiotics, immune system boosting, and all of these great aspects to just make that simple pleasure even better.
After listening to you, I would definitely ask you to join our team as an evangelist, because you obviously understand it well, and I appreciate the time and energy you spent to learn about what we do and how we do it, and just being able to share it with the world.
Ron, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, and thank you for taking that carbon footprint that coffee has been leaving behind and getting rid of it. That way you can be sustainable, caffeinated, and also, if you need probiotics or your immune system boosted, you're ready to go.
Thank you so much for having us. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Make sure that you check out Steeped Coffee. That way you can get your hands on some of this delicious coffee that's going to be better for the environment. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back from the break, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Wasatch Weekends. Now, we've talked a lot about sustainability, and what better way to enjoy it than turning it into an incredible piece of art? Well, we're going to introduce you to artist Taylor Smith and her mixed medium pop art and how she uses it recycled.
I'm Taylor Smith. I have a studio in Indianapolis, Indiana, and this is my work. I suppose I became interested in art when I was very little. My mother was an artist. She still paints a little bit, but I think just having an artist in the family was kind of inspirational. When I was younger, I thought I would get into writing and writing books and novels, but visual arts just kind of appealed to me more. Right after I graduated from university, I moved to Europe and I went to art school in Berlin. So I lived and worked there for about 8 years. Did a lot of snow skiing at the time, which was really fun. And then when I came back in the 90s, I was introduced to Park City, and that was my first time here. And I lived here part-time about 13 to 10 years ago. This one specific series, I take vintage computer floppy disks, which I have collected over the years. I have thousands of them. And I will create a panel that I epoxy the discs to, and it becomes a painting surface. And it's very interesting because all of the original software programs and data is still on the discs. So it kind of becomes this multi-dimensional piece of art. It's almost sculptural in a way. The vintage information and data that's on these discs just kind of becomes part of the art. Technology and visual art combined. I actually had a box of maybe 20 of my own from the 90s. And I came across them in a box that I had, and I thought, oh, these are too cool to throw out. But I knew they weren't recyclable, and that's another good thing. Keep these out of the waste stream because they can't be recycled. But I started laying them out on a table. They're very colorful and almost like a puzzle. You could move the discs around and change the look of what your composition is. And then I thought, okay, I'm gonna make paintings out of these because they're flat and they're perfect. And I quickly realized that I needed thousands more discs. So I source them now from computer recycling companies and individuals who know about my work. They send discs to me to be used in art sometimes too. I began more as an abstract artist, completely abstract. And over the last 15 years, I would say I've become more and more figurative. But I do have some series where I paint on paper and canvas and wood panel. Without the floppy disks. I kind of mix a lot of the pop art that I grew up with, that I'm influenced by, some of the fashion logos that you see everywhere now, kind of nostalgia blended with today's culture. Some of the iconic images that I choose for the work are based on what I was exposed to when I was growing up. My parents were very astute art collectors in the 60s and 70s, and I recall seeing them go to many shows of the 60s pop artists. That's kind of a big influence. And I choose some of the images because of what I'm familiar with, and also some of them that I'm inspired by Park City itself and the surrounding mountains and snow. For instance, this series of love paintings, I've kind of made them a little more specific to Park City because I have a love of snow and skiing, and I create a lot of pieces with the love, and then there's different interpretations that people have of love. Some people have anxiety, insecurity, and some of these comic book type of phrases in them reflect that. And then some people simply have a love of skiing or snowboarding, and I've tried to incorporate that too. It's a little humorous and specific to the area, I think. I met Colby through another artist who shows here at one of Colby's galleries, and he introduced them to my work. Colby and Kelly sent me an email and said that they really thought the floppy disk paintings were interesting and would do well here. I sent, I think, 6 paintings out just after Christmas a year ago, and almost immediately all of them were sold, and I just have honestly been painting overtime to keep up. They do really well with these paintings here. I would say my goal is to just keep coming up with new ideas and creating pieces of art that people enjoy hanging in their homes. Well, I hope you will come down to Pando Gallery and check out my work. It's here all year long, and I'll try and be here as often as I can.
you so much for tuning into your Saturday edition of Wasatch Weekends. I cannot believe we are 7 days into the new year already. I hope that you've been enjoying your 2023 so far, and I hope that you've been getting out there and skiing and riding on all of the wonderful mountains that we have around us. Park City is one of my absolute favorite mountains. Canyons has those secret hidden gems of great places to go enjoy, and then of course Deer Valley is just such a beautiful place to get up there and take those 100% 365 panoramic views of the Wasatch Back Valley in. So make sure that you get out there and you enjoy everything that our little community has to offer. I've been your host for this Saturday edition, Maddie Evans, and make sure that you tune in here tomorrow. We'll be here at 7 a.m. and we love to spend your weekends with you. So get out there and have a great Saturday, everyone.